Have you ever felt like life is passing by too quickly and you haven't yet achieved your dreams? The story of Sophia, a woman in her 70s, proves that sometimes life truly begins when you think it's all over. At 70, Sophia felt the swift passage of time. Each day for her seemed like a repetitive cycle of the one before. She'd wake up, eat breakfast, go through her routine, and no longer expected anything new from life. According to Stoic philosophy, Sophia's acceptance of life's steady rhythm didn't mean she had given up on her aspirations. Stoicism teaches us to remain calm in the face of circumstances, but also reminds us of the importance of seizing each present moment to live fully. And indeed, something remarkable happened. One day, Sophia was presented with an opportunity she thought had long slipped away, a chance to pursue a dream from her youth. Despite being at an age when many might say it's too late, she proved that nothing is impossible if you continue to believe and stay persistent with yourself. Stoic philosophy also teaches that life isn't just a series of random events. It's the result of how we face and prepare for challenges. Sophia isn't just a living example of how opportunities can arise when we least expect them, but also a symbol of persistence in the long journey to find meaning in life. If Sophia's story inspires you, remember that time is never the enemy when we know how to live each moment to the fullest. Subscribe to Stoicriseup to receive more meaningful stories and not miss out on profound lessons from Stoic philosophy. Sophia walked slowly down the familiar streets where she had lived for many years. Each day for her was a repetition of the same routine, devoid of anything new or exciting. But today, as she passed by a small bakery, a particular scent suddenly filled the air, the smell of freshly baked bread. It wasn't just an ordinary fragrance. It was a key unlocking memories from her childhood. Sophia suddenly remembered the days she spent by her grandmother's stove in Kruna, intently learning to cook while nurturing her dream of becoming a chef. Time seemed to stand still, bringing her back to the image of a young girl full of ambition and passion. There was nothing coincidental about this moment. Many scientists affirm that the sense of smell has the power to evoke the most powerful memories and emotions. Dr. Rachel Hertz, an expert in olfactory psychology, once explained that our sense of smell is directly linked to the limbic system, the part of the brain responsible for storing memories and regulating emotions. This explains why a fleeting scent can transport us to memories we thought had long been forgotten. For Sophia, the smell of freshly baked bread was like a sudden spark, rekindling a passion for cooking that had been buried beneath the weight of life's burdens and the expectations of others. In moments like these, Stoic philosophy offers a deeper perspective on life. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control everything that happens, we can control how we respond to what happens. Sophia realized that, for so many years, she had allowed herself to be swept up in the pressures of family and society, forgetting her true self. She had let go of her childhood dreams to chase after the standards of others. But now, standing amidst that sweet aroma, she wondered, what if I go back and pursue that old dream? Carl Jung, the renowned psychologist, once said that we often live according to the expectations of others rather than living as our true selves. In the spirit of Stoicism, instead of trying to change what is beyond our control, we should focus on how we face and respond to life. As the smell of bread continued to fill the air, Sophia began to experience an awakening. The emotions she thought had long faded were now coming back to life. Her passion and excitement surged once again. Perhaps, she thought, it's not too late to start over and chase what she truly desires. The journey back to oneself is not always easy, but it is essential to living a full and meaningful life. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great philosophers of Stoicism, once said, "The obstacle is not the way, it is the way." The challenges in Sophia's life were not barriers but opportunities to help her rediscover herself. When Sophia reflected on Socrates' teaching, "Know thyself," she knew that she had taken the first steps on the path to rediscovering who she truly was. Sophia's story reminds us that sometimes all it takes is a simple moment, a scent from the past, or a memory that suddenly... Sophia's story reminds us that sometimes all it takes is a simple moment, a scent from the past, or a memory that suddenly resurfaces to awaken the true self within. And no matter where we are in life, it is never too late to live with passion, pursue our dreams, and be our most authentic selves. At 70, Sophia still held on to a childhood dream, to become a chef. As a young girl, she would spend hours in her grandmother's kitchen, breathing in the aromas of various dishes, experimenting with new flavors, and imagining the day she would run her own little restaurant. But like many of us, Sophia's dreams were buried under the expectations of her family. You should pursue something more stable. Cooking is just a hobby, not a career. Their advice was etched deeply into her mind. Eventually, Sophia set aside her passion to follow the safer path her family had laid out for her. Sound familiar? How many times have we set aside our true aspirations just to please others? The shoulds in life are like invisible ghosts, haunting and controlling our thoughts. They whisper that we must do this, we must pursue that, and often these things are completely out of sync with what our hearts truly desire. But what happens when those shoulds don't align with our true selves? Imagine your life as a blank canvas. Will you paint it with the colors others choose, or will you pick the shades you truly love? For decades, Sophia had been painting her life with dull, muted colors, following a template she didn't choose. But what if I told you that it's never too late to grab the brush and change your own canvas? Modern psychology has studied this phenomenon for years, and the results show that blindly following societal expectations can have serious consequences for mental health and personal well-being. According to a study by Stanford University, people who pursue their true passions tend to be happier and more successful in the long run. But why is it so difficult for us to follow our own path? The answer lies in a basic human need for acceptance and belonging. From a young age, we learn to please those around us to gain love and approval. But the problem arises when this need becomes a cage, trapping us away from our true dreams. Sophia was no exception. Like many others, she fell into the trap of societal conformity. She worked a job that brought her no joy, lived a life that wasn't her own. Every morning she woke up feeling empty, asking herself, what if I had chosen a different path? But as Stoicism emphasizes, what if doesn't exist. Only the present does. The shoulds are like an outdated GPS, leading you down a road others have mapped out, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the right path for you. How many times have you made decisions based on what others expect, rather than listening to the voice deep within? Stoicism also introduces the concept of emotional alignment, to describe the state when our actions don't match our true inner desires. This is the internal conflict we experience when we are not living authentically. Imagine trying to play a melody on an instrument that isn't properly tuned. No matter how much effort you put in, the sound will never be harmonious, and the feeling of dissatisfaction lingers. But what if I told you that you still have time to retune your instrument? Sophia realized this on an ordinary day while cooking for her grandchildren. It was in that moment she understood that the fire of her youthful passion hadn't completely burned out. It had only been smoldering, waiting to reignite. That's when she made a life-changing decision. She would no longer live by the shoulds, but instead pursue what truly made her happy. That decision freed Sophia from the invisible barriers of expectations her family and society had placed on her for so many years. What can we take away from Sophia's story? It's the realization that everyone has control over the canvas of their own life. Maybe we've been painting with the colors others have chosen, but it's never too late to change, to choose again, and to start living a life that truly reflects who we are. Moments like Sophia's, when she smelled the freshly baked bread, when she stood at the stove cooking, are the sparks that remind us that our passions never truly die. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, are the decisions you're making truly yours? Or are they the result of pressure from society and others? Sophia's story is a reminder that no matter what age you are, no matter how far you've come, it's always possible to return to your true dreams and live a colorful life that you've chosen. So what will you choose? But first, let me ask you a question. Instead of asking yourself, what should I do? Why not try asking, what do I really want to do? After watching this video, have you ever thought that love and passion might be the key to unlocking your true potential? Get ready to explore how one simple decision can ignite a spark and transform your entire life. The truth is, pursuing your passion doesn't just bring happiness, it also unlocks your true inner potential. Studies in positive psychology have shown that doing what we love not only creates immediate joy, but also improves mental health. When we fully immerse ourselves in something, our brain releases dopamine, the neurotransmitter that creates feelings of satisfaction and excitement. This is not just abstract theory, it's the reality Sophia is living. On her first day of cooking class, Sophia felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness, emotions we've all likely experienced when starting something new and unfamiliar. Her hands trembled as she put on her apron, but the moment she touched the ingredients, it was as if she reconnected with her true self. Time seemed to stand still. The vivid sense of being alive and connected to her passion suddenly burst forth. To me, this is the clearest proof that passion isn't just for the young, but for anyone daring enough to pursue it. What strikes me even more is how Sophia's passion began to change her life. Not just in the kitchen, but in every aspect. She had more energy, felt happier, and even her grandchildren noticed the difference. When asked why she was so happy, Sophia simply smiled and said, "Because I'm doing what I love." It's a simple yet powerful answer. It made me realize that life is meaningful when we truly live for ourselves, doing what our hearts desire, not what others expect of us. Sophia's transformation also got me thinking about the concept of emotional alignment. When we live in a way that doesn't match our deepest desires, an internal conflict arises, leading to tension and dissatisfaction. It's like trying to play a psalm on an instrument that isn't properly tuned. No matter how hard you try, the sound never harmonizes. But when we adjust ourselves to be in sync with our passions, everything changes. Sophia discovered the power of her love for cooking, but she also had to confront inner challenges. She wondered, am I good enough? Is it too late to start? These are questions we all ask ourselves at some point, but I believe, like Sophia, the answers only come when we dare to step out of our comfort zone and challenge ourselves. Sophia's journey reminds me of an important truth. Love for what you do has the power to transform your entire life. As Rumi once said, let the beauty of what you love be what you do. For me, this isn't just a beautiful quote, it's a guiding principle for how we should live. When we do what we love, we not only create value for ourselves, but also spread happiness and inspiration to those around us. If you haven't yet discovered your passion, start by reflecting on the moments when you felt most alive. That's when you found your true passion. Sophia's story shows us that it's never too late to chase our dreams. Love and passion are the most powerful forces for transforming a life. Are you ready to explore what truly makes your heart sing? Sophia made the decision to change her life. What about you? The first step is always the most important, and sometimes one simple decision can change everything. As Sophia continued her journey of discovering the culinary arts, she began to realize that something wasn't quite right. Despite feeling excited and passionate, a small voice inside her kept echoing, shaking her confidence. Aren't you too old to start something new like this? What if you fail? This voice, like a harsh critic, constantly tried to extinguish her flame of enthusiasm. That sound echoed in Sophia's mind whenever she stepped out of her comfort zone to explore new things. Sound familiar? It's like we all have an inner saboteur, always ready to pour salt on our sweetest moments, successes, and personal pride. But imagine this. What if that negative voice wasn't the final word you had to hear? Think about your thoughts and beliefs like ingredients in a recipe. If you use low-quality ingredients, negative thoughts, and limiting beliefs, can you really expect to create a delicious meal? No, the dish could end up so bad that even your most loyal dog might refuse to eat it. The same goes for life. If we keep feeding ourselves limiting and negative thoughts, the outcomes we get will never be what we hope for. Renowned psychologist Albert Ellis, the founder of Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy, RBT, once said, "It's not the event that upsets us, but our beliefs about it." In other words, it's not the circumstances that limit us, but the way we perceive those circumstances. For Sophia, this rang true. Although she had rediscovered her passion for cooking, old, limiting beliefs, the ones she had accumulated over years under family and societal pressure, kept holding her back. It was like trying to light a fire with wet wood. Her enthusiasm couldn't ignite fully if her negative thoughts kept dousing it with cold water. This is where the law of attraction comes into play, though not in the magical sense that many often interpret it. The law of attraction doesn't mean that simply thinking positively will make everything good happen, or that success will appear with a snap of your fingers. At its core, the law of attraction states that our thoughts and beliefs have the power to shape our reality. Henry Ford, one of the greatest industrialists of the 20th century, once said, "Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right." What we believe will guide our actions like a mental GPS. If you program yourself for failure, that's exactly where life will lead you. On the other hand, if you program yourself for success, everything begins to change. Sophia started to realize that she needed to reprogram her mental GPS. She began questioning the limiting beliefs she had held for so long. Where did these come from? Are they really mine? Or are they things I've unconsciously absorbed from others throughout my life? It was a long and challenging process, like trying to bake a perfect souffle on the first try. But Sophia knew this process was necessary. Carl Rogers, a leading psychologist in humanistic psychology, once said, "The curious paradox is that when I accept myself just as I am, then I can change." This became Sophia's guiding principle on her journey of self-discovery. She began clearing out old beliefs, decluttering her mind as if she were cleaning out long-neglected cupboards filled with outdated recipes. Thoughts like, "I'm too old for this," were replaced with positive affirmations. "I have the experience and wisdom to succeed." Instead of fearing, "What if I fail?" she started asking herself, "What if I succeed in ways I've never imagined?" What's remarkable here is that changing your mindset isn't just wishful thinking or simply being positive. Cognitive psychology has proven that our beliefs and thoughts directly affect our behavior. When we believe we can achieve something, we act with confidence and persistence, getting closer to our goals. But when we constantly doubt ourselves, it holds us back at every step. Sophia realized this through her hands-on experiences in the kitchen. As her beliefs shifted, she no longer feared failure, but instead boldly experimented with new recipes, confidently sought advice from her teachers, and shared her dishes with family and friends. It was as if she had discovered a new secret ingredient in the kitchen: self-confidence. Sophia recognized that the limitations she once saw were not reality, but self-imposed barriers. And as she began to break down those barriers, her life changed too. She laughed more, enjoyed life to the fullest, and even her grandchildren noticed the difference. One of them curiously asked, "Grandma, why do you seem so happy these days?" Sophia simply smiled and replied, "Because I'm doing what I love." From here, Sophia's story isn't just about rediscovering her passion for cooking. It's about a mindset shift, a crucial factor that helped her reconnect with herself and build a more fulfilling life. This transformation reminds us that love for the work we do can change our lives. As the famous poet Rumi once said, "Let the beauty of what you love be what you do." Sophia now lives by this philosophy every day. But her story doesn't end there. As you've seen, she had to confront her inner saboteur and shift her limiting beliefs. And this raises a bigger question for all of us. What happens when we begin to change our mindset? What wonders can we create when we believe in ourselves and embrace positive, empowering beliefs? If you loved Sophia's story and want to learn more about how we can shift our mindset to live a life full of passion and meaning, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to leave a comment below about the content you'd like to see in future videos. Let's keep learning and improving our lives every day. Have you ever heard of the self-fulfilling prophecy? It's a powerful psychological phenomenon that might explain why some people seem to always encounter good fortune, while others face a series of setbacks. Our protagonist, Sophia, is about to discover that her thoughts and beliefs are the chef of her own destiny. Imagine your mind is like a kitchen where your thoughts are the ingredients and your beliefs are the recipes. What happens if you change the ingredients or adjust the recipe? Exactly, you'll end up with an entirely different dish. This is how the self-fulfilling prophecy works. Psychologist Robert Rosenthal shed light on this phenomenon through a famous experiment known as the Pygmalion effect. He divided students into two groups and told teachers that one group was gifted while the other was average, though the students were actually chosen at random. By the end of the school year, the gifted students performed significantly better than the others. The reason wasn't due to the students' abilities, but rather the expectations of the teachers, which directly influenced their performance. This shows that both others' beliefs and our own can directly affect our actions and outcomes. Sophia began applying this principle to her own life. Instead of thinking, "I'm too old to start a career as a chef," she told herself, "My life experience will enrich the dishes I create." And like magic, though really the result of a mindset shift, everything began to change. One day, while preparing a soufflé, a notoriously difficult dish even for seasoned chefs, Sophia realized she no longer felt anxious or shaky as she placed it in the oven. Her hands were steady, her mind clear, and when she pulled out a perfectly risen soufflé, she knew something profound had changed within her. How did this happen? Neuroscientist Dr. Joe Dispenza explained that our thoughts create neural connections in the brain. The more we repeat a thought, the stronger and more familiar that connection becomes. It's like creating a path through a dense forest. The more you walk it, the wider and easier the path becomes. Sophia had started carving out new paths in her mind, and these paths were leading her to places she never imagined. Her classmates began seeking her advice, her teachers praised her progress, and she even received an offer for an internship at a local restaurant, an achievement she had never dreamed possible at 70. Before you think this is just magic or simple positive thinking, let me clarify. A self-fulfilling prophecy isn't just about thinking good thoughts and hoping everything will fall into place. As philosopher Aristotle once said, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit." Sophia didn't just change her thoughts, she changed her actions. She practiced more, learned more, and pushed herself to take on new challenges. These new beliefs propelled her to act differently, and her actions reinforced those beliefs, creating a positive feedback loop. Psychologist Albert Bandura called this phenomenon self-efficacy, the belief in one's ability to achieve a goal. When we believe we can accomplish something, we move forward with confidence, and as a result, our chances of success increase. Belief is like fuel for success, and the more we believe, the more energy we have to go the distance. However, this doesn't mean the journey will always be easy or perfect. Sophia still faced challenges. Sometimes a dish didn't turn out the way she wanted, or she struggled to please customers. The difference lay in how she reacted to these setbacks. Instead of viewing them as failures, Sophia saw them as opportunities to learn and improve her skills. This reminds me of Thomas Edison's famous quote, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Sophia adopted this mindset, and it transformed not only her career but also her outlook on life. She no longer feared failure or worried that age would stop her from pursuing her dreams. Instead, she focused on learning from each mistake, improving her skills, and trusting that she could succeed. Each new step forward, each perfected dish was a testament to her belief that it's never too late to start something new. So what does this mean for all of us? Sophia's story is clear proof that we have more control than we think. Our thoughts, beliefs, and actions not only shape our outcomes, but also the very path we walk. If you believe you can succeed, you'll act with confidence and effort to make that belief a reality. And when you succeed, your belief will only grow stronger, propelling you toward even greater accomplishments. But what if you still have doubts? Don't worry, that's part of the process. It took Sophia years to find her path, but in the end, she proved that it's never too late to change. Start by changing those limiting thoughts, believing in your abilities, and acting in ways that align with the success you desire. Like Sophia, you too can change the recipe for your life and create results you never imagined. So, what thoughts and actions will you choose today to create your own self-fulfilling prophecy? As Sophia found more success on her journey to becoming a chef, a profound question began to haunt her. What would happen if, instead of focusing on what she lacked, she started appreciating what she already had? It seemed like a simple idea, but it was the key to a revolutionary shift in her life. Have you ever thought about the transformative power of gratitude? Not just polite thank yous, but a deep practice that can completely change the way we see life and, in turn, transform reality itself. Sophia was standing at the edge of a major discovery, an ancient secret that modern science is only beginning to understand. One day, after a soufflé collapsed in the oven, instead of feeling frustrated and upset, she chose a different approach. She decided to practice gratitude. She thanked the ingredients she had, expressed gratitude for the opportunity to learn, and even appreciated the failure, as it taught her how to do better next time. And then something miraculous happened. Her frustration melted away, replaced by peace and determination. This simple act of gratitude not only changed Sophia's mood, but also set off a chain of positive events in her life. Oprah Winfrey once said, "Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough." But this isn't just wise advice from Oprah. It's backed by science. A study by psychologists Robert Emmons and Michael McCullough found that people who practice gratitude regularly are more satisfied, optimistic, and feel more connected to others. Gratitude is like a hidden superpower that we all possess, but few know how to tap into. Sophia decided to make gratitude a daily habit. Every morning, before heading to her cooking class, she would sit down and write out 3 things she was grateful for. Sometimes these were big things, like the opportunity to pursue her dream. But more often, it was the little things, like the smell of her morning coffee or a beam of sunlight streaming through the window. This practice not only improved Sophia's mood, but also made her more resilient in the face of challenges. When a dish didn't turn out as expected, instead of getting discouraged, she was grateful for the lesson learned. Psychologist Martin Seligman once said, "Gratitude can transform common days into thanksgiving, turn routine jobs into joy, and change ordinary opportunities into blessings." But gratitude doesn't just make us feel better mentally, it has tangible effects on the brain and body. Research shows that practicing gratitude regularly activates brain regions associated with dopamine and serotonin, 2 neurotransmitters essential for creating feelings of happiness and satisfaction. What about you? Are you ready to unlock the superpower of gratitude in your own life? Here are some practical exercises that Sophia used, and you can try them too. 1. Write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. Focus on small things, like a good meal or a meaningful conversation. This helps build a habit of focusing on the positive and seeing life through a grateful lens. 2. Be grateful even in failure. When challenges arise, look for the lessons and express gratitude for the opportunity to learn. Failures are not dead ends, but stepping stones to success. 3. Share your gratitude. Occasionally, express appreciation to those around you. Not only will this brighten their day, but it also creates a more positive and uplifting environment for you. Sophia discovered that gratitude wasn't just a fleeting feeling, but a way of life. It transformed her life in ways she had never expected. Gratitude became a secret ingredient, enriching and deepening every aspect of her existence. The best part is, this ingredient is unlimited and available to all of us. But Sophia's journey didn't stop at gratitude. This practice was just the beginning of a much larger transformation. What if you started viewing every challenge, every closed door in your life, as signs from the universe guiding you toward your true destiny? Sophia not only learned to be grateful for what she had, but she also realized that sometimes failures are profound messages from the universe, showing us the way. Keep exploring with Sophia and ask yourself, are you listening to the signs in your life? Are you ready to accept that every challenge is an opportunity, and that sometimes closed doors are just opening new paths? Start by appreciating the small things in life and let gratitude lead you to even greater discoveries. Sophia's life seemed to be progressing smoothly. Her culinary career was flourishing, and with the practice of gratitude she had embraced, Sophia felt happier than ever. However, as many of us have experienced, the universe often has unexpected plans. One day, upon arriving at her favorite cooking class, Sophia learned that the school was closing due to financial difficulties. Faced with this situation, Sophia stood at a crossroads: give in to the challenge or see it as a disguised opportunity. Philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger." Instead of wallowing in disappointment, Sophia decided to adopt this mindset and search for the positive aspect of the challenge. Have you ever faced a similar situation where everything seemed to be falling apart? These moments are often turning points in our lives. What initially feels like a setback can actually open doors to new opportunities. Psychologist Carl Jung called these events synchronicity, seemingly random coincidences that carry deep meaning and guide us toward our true path. Sophia began to notice the small signs around her. A flyer about a local cooking competition appeared on her desk, a casual conversation about a restaurant looking for new chefs, and even a vivid dream where she saw herself cooking in her very own restaurant. These events, which at first seemed unrelated, began to accumulate, like ingredients waiting to be combined into a perfect recipe. Physicist Neil deGrasse Tyson once said, "The universe is under no obligation to make sense to you." But when we start paying attention, we often notice hidden patterns amidst the chaos. Sophia didn't let the closure of the school discourage her. Instead, she chose to see it as a sign from the universe, guiding her toward greater opportunities. She took action, entering the cooking competition, meeting like-minded people, and even considering opening her own restaurant. These small steps brought her closer to her dream. What about you? How many times have you encountered failures and felt defeated? The key is, instead of viewing it as the end, consider it as a sign from the universe, pointing you towards something greater. When we open ourselves up to challenges, we often find that they are precious opportunities in disguise. Sophia decided not only to listen, but also to act on these signs. She entered the cooking competition, sent applications to local restaurants, and even researched how to start a small business. Each small step brought her closer to her true purpose, even though she didn't realize it at the time. As the famous poet Rumi once said, "What you seek is seeking you." And indeed, the opportunities Sophia longed for seemed to be seeking her out. Of course, Sophia's journey wasn't always smooth. There were moments when she doubted herself, fearing failure. But Sophia always remembered psychologist Carol Dweck's words about growth mindset. Failure is not the end, but an opportunity to grow. With this mindset, Sophia embraced every challenge as a valuable lesson. When she didn't win the cooking competition, she used the experience to improve her skills. When she wasn't hired at a restaurant, she took the feedback to refine her techniques. Each no only brought her closer to the grand yes of her life. The important thing is that signs from the universe aren't always obvious. As Albert Einstein once said, "In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity." Sophia learned to view every obstacle as a stepping stone toward her dream. A study from Stanford University shows that people who see challenges as opportunities for growth are more successful in the long run. Sophia lived this reality. In the end, all the signs and challenges Sophia faced led to a crucial turning point. She received an unexpected call from an old friend who was opening a restaurant and looking for a creative, passionate chef with rich life experience. It was the perfect opportunity, one that the universe seemed to have been setting up for her all along. Sophia had achieved the career she had always dreamed of, but one big question still lingered in her mind. Why didn't she feel completely fulfilled? Sophia realized that success and happiness don't always go hand in hand. Even though she had achieved what she once dreamed of in her career, there was still a void in her soul. So, what was missing in this seemingly perfect picture? Perhaps the answer didn't lie in external accomplishments, but in the search for deeper harmony and purpose within herself. And Sophia's journey, like each of ours, is not just about achieving dreams, but also about discovering oneself along the way. What about you? Could the challenges you're facing be signs from the universe, guiding you toward your true path? Listen, pay attention, and take action, because perhaps what you're seeking is also seeking you. What Maria is about to discover will change her life forever, and it could change yours too. Are you ready to explore the inner world we all carry within ourselves? At the age of 60, Maria had reached the pinnacle of her culinary career. The restaurant she worked for was wildly successful, her dishes were praised by critics, and she had thousands of followers on social media. Yet something wasn't right. Every evening, as she stepped out of the noisy, smoke-filled kitchen, Maria felt an indescribable emptiness. Amid the glory of external success, she felt like a part of herself was missing inside. That's when she remembered the words of psychologist Carl Jung. Your vision will become clear only when you look into your own heart. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes. Maria realized she had spent too much time seeking external validation and had forgotten to listen to herself. No amount of praise or admiration could give her the inner peace she was missing. Have you ever felt like this? Even after achieving your goals, do you still feel like something is missing? If so, you're not alone. A Harvard study found that 72% of successful people feel dissatisfied with some aspect of their lives. Maria embarked on a journey of self-discovery, seeking to reconnect with herself. She began practicing meditation, inspired by the teachings of Thich Nhat Hanh, who once said, "Peace is every step. The path is the goal." Slowly, step by step, Maria reconnected with her inner self, the part of her that had been neglected in her pursuit of external recognition and success. This process wasn't easy. At times, it felt like trying to make a soufflé without a recipe, confusing and unsure of the next step. But she remembered the words of philosopher Socrates, "Know thyself." With each day of meditation and reflection, Maria began to understand the true meaning of the phrase, "The kingdom of God is within you." It wasn't about religion, but about the realization that the source of all happiness and fulfillment had always been inside her. Psychologist Abraham Maslow, known for his theory of the hierarchy of needs, described self-actualization as the pinnacle of personal growth. This was what Maria was aiming for: inner peace, not external accomplishments. In the end, Maria found what she had been missing. It wasn't a big award or greater recognition, it was inner peace and completeness. This became the greatest lesson of her life, and it could be yours too. Interestingly, this discovery not only transformed Maria's spiritual life, but also changed the way she cooked. Her dishes began to carry a depth and sincerity that had never been there before. As Anthony Bourdain once said, "Your body is not a temple, it's an amusement park. Enjoy the ride." Maria had learned to enjoy not only her food, but also her life, with all its emotions and harmony. But Maria's journey didn't stop with self-discovery. After finding inner peace, she felt a new mission: to share this knowledge and awakening with others. She began hosting mindful cooking workshops, where she not only taught people how to cook, but also how to connect with themselves through the preparation of food. For Maria, cooking became an act of gratitude and presence, not just a job. At 60, she not only rediscovered her passion, but also found her purpose. Psychologist Viktor Frankl once said, "Those who have a why to live can bear almost any how." Maria's story is proof of this, that it's never too late to reconnect with yourself and find your true purpose in life. Poet Rumi once said, "What you seek is seeking you." Sometimes we just need to pause and look inward to realize this truth. Maria's story shows that it's never too late to pursue your dreams and find your life's purpose. At 60, she discovered her passion and began the journey of self-fulfillment. Many others have found success even when age seemed like an obstacle. Grandma Moses, a famous painter, began her art career at 76, proving that age is just a number, and life is a journey of continuous discovery. Maria learned that true happiness doesn't come from external achievements, but from a deep connection with oneself. She faced her fears, deciphered the signs from the universe, and turned every challenge into an opportunity for growth. Her story reminds us that every challenge is an opportunity, and that life is worth exploring to its fullest. Ask yourself, is your life truly fulfilling? If not, perhaps it's time to start your own journey of self-discovery and find what truly matters in your life. Like Maria, be brave in facing your fears and challenges, and let perseverance guide you. Life, like a game, isn't about staying on one level forever. You'll want to keep exploring new worlds, and, step by step, reach your true self. I believe you can do it. Start your journey today. Trust in yourself and never give up, because success comes from persistence and patience. If you've made it this far, type "I believe in myself" in the comments, so I know you're one of the champions who completed this video. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any inspiring content like this in the future. Share this video with your loved ones so they can also begin their journey of self-discovery and apply these valuable insights today. If you'd like to support the channel and enjoy more perks, consider becoming an exclusive member. I'll drop the link to a free ebook in the comments, giving you access to even more special and detailed information. Thank you so much for your support. Now click on the next video to continue nourishing your mind and heart with positivity and wisdom. Sending you a big hug, and I'll see you in the next video.